nice round of applause, Jim St. John, and a happy winner, Glenn Allison, with a 228, is the $5,000 winner here at the Planet Bowl in Midwest City, Oklahoma. All of this coming to you live from the Sooner State. Well, Billy,
Chris, it's been a pleasure working with you again.
Well, it's always nice to have you up here experting for us, and of course, I know you enjoy it, but you would much prefer being down there in Glenn Allison's place.
Very definitely so. But when I can't be, it's nice to be up here with you working over the ABC microphones.
Well, thank you, Billy. And now let's take a look at that score sheet of the final match worth $5,000 to Glenn Allison, a 228 to a 170.
Chris, the story was pretty well told. In the second frame, Jim left the bucket, the 2-4-5-8, and failed to come up. Charged Glenn Allison up. He went right to the lead with a turkey, and he had a 53-pin lead then. Jim St. John again left the bucket, again failed to come up. And the match, for all intents and purposes, was pretty well over, and Glenn marked the rest of the way out. Jim St. John found the range again in the 9th and 10th frames, but it was pretty well over in about the 7th or 8th frame, and the margin being 58 pins.
You know, Billy, we often talk about the various aspects of competition in each of the sports. And I recall way back in Paramus, New Jersey, and talking bowling to you about 10 years ago, you know, and to some of the top stars. They impressed upon me that bowling is a game where you cannot make a mistake, because if you do, you can never recover. You never get that shot back. Whereas they were saying in golf, sometimes when you make an error with a stroke, you can walk a little and maybe come up with a sensational shot and make up what you lost in the previous stroke.
Chris, I think you've hit the nail on the head. If all the arguments could be settled, I think that would be the one factor that would settle which was most difficult, golf or bowling. Because in golf, you have that chance to recover anywhere from tee to green. In bowling, if you make 3 strikes in a row, 3 perfect shots, but as Jim St. John did, leave the bucket and miss it, you've blown in one frame the 19 pins that you've made with 3 perfect shots.
No wonder you recommend getting out and practicing.
I wish I had a wedge shot here that you could pick it up and make that spare after you let the ball go, but it's unfortunate.
Isn't that the truth?
That's not the game, and you've just got to make every shot count.
Billy, one question we get from viewers. Just how many games per day does a professional bowl in order to keep in tip-top shape?
We average about 20, 25 games a day, Chris. Practice throughout the year, yes.
What do you do in your spare time?
Well, we don't have too much spare time between playing the PBA Tour and doing the exhibitions and the practice sessions. It pretty well takes up about a 330-day year.
You know how I was impressed today? The fact that we had 2 newcomers in the semifinals, Bill Aziz and Bill Hartwig, which shows that the top name bowlers don't always get into this live telecast. You know, Dick Weber did finish 5th. Don Carter was down the line. You yourself, a lot of other.
Yes, with this type of format, Chris, the bowler can bowl very well, but run into someone that is a little bit hotter and shoot 680 or 690 and lose the match, and then, of course, he's out.
Billy, I want to show you a fine aspect of the PBA Tour, especially for those that are able to go to the wind of the cash. As we look at this money standing, I want you to take a careful look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is only in, we're still in February, aren't we? And this is only the 6th stop on the PBA Tour. Now, Andy Marsich, Billy, has won 2 of our telecasts.
Right.
He's won $10,395. Now, there are very few golfers that can say that. And we go down the line, and Earl Johnson is there. And then Glenn Allison, by virtue of winning $5,000 a day, gives him that $7,075 total. And let's see, there's a name there, W-E-L-U. Hey, you're doing all right, Billy.
I certainly can't complain about that, even though you can't get the shot back after you let it go.
And we mentioned Jim St. John coming into this tournament had about $3,450, and with $2,500 more, he has done all right with a little more prize money. And Dennis Chappis, remember him? He was one that came out of the pack. And
I remember him very well, Chris.
And Dick Weber, Billy Golombiewski, J.B. Solomon, and the great Don Carter.
Don has been running into some tough luck, as we spoke about in these matches, losing by about 6 or 7 pins in his first match this morning.
And he was bitten by the virus bug in St. Louis, I know, last week. Going out, you know Mom Carter?
Yes, I do.
We had a wonderful dinner with Mom and took a look at all of Don's trophies, the most fabulous thing I've ever seen.
He's got a whole room there just for trophies alone.
And a proud mother looking over them. Well, friends, we'll be right back with with the winner of today's exciting tournament on Professional Bowlers Tour. And now a word from your Plymouth Valiant dealer.
Return to Riverside. For the second year at the Riverside, California test course, Ford, Chevrolet, and Plymouth V8s meet in 10 official tests of all-around car capability. The cars are comparably equipped, and at Plymouth's request, every event in this showdown is sanctioned and conducted by an independent testing institute. Who wins the 0 to 60? Plymouth. Who wins the hill climb? Chevrolet. Who wins the quarter mile? Plymouth. Who wins the emergency stop? Ford. Who wins the kilometer? Plymouth. The 3 1/4 mile classic? Plymouth. Highway passing safety? Plymouth. City passing safety? Plymouth. The Go Stop Park test? Plymouth. And Plymouth even wins the economy run. Plymouth beats Ford and Chevrolet 8 times out of 10. Winning the safety passing tests, performance tests, handling test, and the economy run. And what other car has such terrific good looks? See it at your Plymouth dealers. Plymouth's on the move.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the on the approach of the Planet Bowl in Midwest City, Oklahoma, it's all over, except handing out a lot of money in this state, the Sooner State. And I hope you enjoyed the competition. And it was especially pleasing to see 2 somewhat newcomers come out of the pack and show extremely well. I know they're both disappointed, not finishing first or second, but they did show us a lot of ability, especially the 21-year-old youngster from San Mateo, California, who I'm about to present a $1,000 check. How about a nice round of applause for Bill Hardwick? Morning, Bill. Here's the $1,000, and it was a real pleasure watching you compete.
Thank you very much, Chris. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. There's a modest young man. Now, from El Paso, Texas, and next week we go back to his state, to Dallas. Bill Aziz showed us a lot here today, too. Bill, nice going.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a little warmer down in El Paso today, you think?
I hope so. When we left, it snowing pretty bad.
Oh, it was. Well, you hope the snow's going when you get home. $12.50 will help buy a little wood for the fire if it is cold down there. And we hope that we'll see you next week at the Cotton Bowling Palace.
Thank you. Thank everybody here.
Very good. Bill Aziz. Now, a fellow that in the finals, I don't think too much went good for him. Apparently he's hungry because of the bucket here. Golly. Jim St. John, you have any explanation for what happened on those?
Well, Glenn bowled real good. I believe that I was bellying the ball just a little bit too much, and the speed I was throwing, and that was the result. More buckets than I can handle.
Yeah, it's more than anybody can handle.
But second place isn't too bad.
No, it isn't, as a matter of fact, because here's a check signed by Henry Brilliant for $2,500.
Thank you, Chris.
Nice going, Jimmy. Always a pleasure to watch you bowl.
Thank you.
Very good. Now, I doubt if we can ever get this fellow to keep statistics for us again, because I know he likes the sweet smell of success, bowling. He's a great statistician and a wonderful bowler, too, Glenn Allison. Glenn, nice going.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's see, Glenn, we could go back a little bit. This makes your, what, 3rd PBA victory?
That's right, Chris. 3 of them now.
Boy, oh boy, and you're right up in the first 10, you know, the money earners.
Well, I just made it this week, I think.
Well, $5,000 got you right up near your friend Billy Welu. And, of course, Andy Marsich is leading the pack with over $10,000, but another tournament will get you there, too, you know.
Well, I'd sure like to win another one, but these things kind of come as a surprise. I didn't feel like I was bowling well enough until this morning, and then everything started going fine for me, and then I got the breaks in the first match. So here I am.
Glenn, one of the facts about you, and I didn't realize it until you were bowling today and looking at my bio of you, is the fact that in 1961 and 1962, you finished 4th both years on the amount of money won. And this, to me, is a sheer consistency.
Well, I think I bowled in more tournaments than anybody else.
Oh, come on. I know you're strong and ambitious. Of course, you got a family to feed. How many children now? I recall we had one not too long ago. We sweat that one out a little bit. And what was the city?
Well, let's see. I believe that was El Paso last year. And March 31st, my son will be 1 year old.
Oh, wonderful. That makes what?
That's 2.
2. All right. Well, now you've got 2 youngsters back there to help polish the trophies. And there's a beautiful one coming in here, carried by the president of Bowling Promotions Incorporated and the local tournament director, Henry Brilliant. Henry?
Thank you, Chris. Glenn, congratulations. You did a wonderful job, and, we've known each other for quite a while, and it's really a pleasure to see you come through like this. Very proud of you. All the boys bowled very well, and as in all tournaments, there are winners and there's losers, and this time you came out on top, and I want to say thanks to all of the PBA for a wonderful job here in Oklahoma City. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Well, Henry, come here just a moment before you leave, and you're wearing that green jacket. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brilliant red. Is that a Sooner red?
That's a Sooner red.
Bud Wilkinson would love that, see you wearing the colors of that fine school. We'd like to compliment you on the great organization of this particular Tournament of Stars. You always do a wonderful job, and it's nice always to come to Oklahoma.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's a pleasure having you, and it's teamwork, believe me. It's all teamwork. People here at Planet Bowl, all the proprietors, everyone. It's wonderful to put it on.
Okay, thanks. Thanks again, Henry Brilliant. Now, Glenn, you got a free hand?
I sure have.
All right, the free hand will be now filled by the first place prize money, $5,000.
Well, thanks again, Chris, and I have to take this up and give it to my team captain now, Billy Welu.
Oh, you do? Oh, don't give it to him.
All I do is just look at it, and then I got to hand it to him.
Oh, I see. What about Mrs. Allison?
Well, she'll get her cut of it, too.
How many ways do you have to cut this up?
Well, when I get through cutting it up, there isn't much left for me.
Well, now that you're doing so well, that means that we can lower the fee on your being statistician. And I know that you hope that you'll never get back up there to work with us again. You'd rather be down here.
Especially if you're going to lower the fee.
We'd like to point out that Glenn is a native of California, but he's now bowling out of St. Louis, Missouri. And have a good trip to Dallas. We'll see you at the Cotton Bowling Palace in that great city. And again, Glenn, I want to shake that hand. You're a wonderful bowler and guy.
Thanks again, Chris.
Glenn Allison, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes with a big trophy, $5,000 check, and it couldn't certainly happen to a nicer guy. You know, the next stop on Professional Bowlers Tour is Dallas, Texas. And again, we'll bring you the semifinal and final matches of another great bowling tournament, the PBA Dallas Open. That's next Saturday afternoon from the Cotton Bowling Palace in Dallas, Texas, on the ABC television network. Our thanks to the Professional Bowlers Association and its fine executive director, Eddie Elias, and Henry Brilliant, president of Bowling Promotions Incorporated. Prize monies were furnished by the Professional Bowlers Association and Bowling Promotions Incorporated. The 1963 Professional Bowlers Tour, produced by Jim Colligan and directed by Jack Lubell. Associate Director Joe Bush. Engineering Supervisor Chuck Buzzard. Technical Supervisor Glenn Danley. Our thanks to station KOCO-TV, Oklahoma City, for today's television pickup. And now this is Chris Schenkel in Midwest City, Oklahoma, saying so long for Billy Welu and myself. Today's tournament on the 1963 Professional Bowlers Tour was brought to you by AMF, manufacturers of a complete line of bowling equipment and accessories. For the best in bowling, bowl where you see the magic triangle. AMF means the finest. And by today's Wheaties, the Big G for goodness cereal. Goodness and crisp, toasted whole wheat flakes. Wheaties, breakfast of champions.